LawrenceDBurns, Autonomy, The Quest to Build the Driverless Car, and How It Will Reshape Our World. Embark on a captivating journey as we explore the world of autonomous vehicles and their transformative impact on our lives in Autonomy, The Quest to Build the Driverless Car, and How It Will Reshape Our World by LawrenceDBurns. The book summary delves into the inefficiencies of traditional combustion engine-based transportation and explores the innovations and visions that have propelled the development of driverless cars. From Larry Page's dream of an alternative transportation system to the efforts of DARPA, learn how groundbreaking ideas, technological advancements, and the ever-evolving intersection between the automotive and computer science industries have shaped the path towards a world of eco-friendly and space-efficient automated vehicles.
Cars, inefficient energy monsters. Take a moment to observe the sounds around you. There's a high chance you'll hear the unmistakable hum of a car's internal combustion engine, an invention that has revolutionized our lives yet come at a great cost. Surprisingly, these vehicles have an energy efficiency of less than 30%. The majority of gasoline energy goes to waste as heat or is used to power accessories, with a mere 5% propelling the driver. Traffic congestion further reduces efficiency, resulting in average city speeds as low as 12 miles per hour. Car occupancy, typically just 1.1 people during work commutes, highlights the uneconomical use of vehicle space. Moreover, since cars are utilized only 5% of the time, vast areas of valuable land are dedicated to parking facilities. The excessive pavement creates asphalt heat islands that raise urban temperatures and contribute to climate change. Considering these facts, it's fair to ask, why wouldn't we want to change our current car usage? When adversity inspires innovation. The journeys of Larry Page, founder of Google's self-driving car project, Chauffeur, and an unnamed author illustrate how personal moments of frustration or despair can become the catalysts for disruptive innovation. Page felt the pangs of envy during winter months as cars passed him waiting for the bus, sparking his imagination towards a world of rapid transportation systems with two-person mobility pods. For the author, witnessing the 9/11 attacks up close led to an epiphany about the unsustainable and culpable effects of the United States' dependence on oil, leading him to champion change against gas-powered combustion engines. Our greatest inventions often stem from moments of desperation or frustration. In such instances, we're driven to reconsider current norms and imagine alternative possibilities. Larry Page, the CEO of Google and founder of the Chauffeur self-driving car project, is a prime example of someone who translated personal dissatisfaction into a transformative vision. Struggling through the harsh winters of the University of Michigan without a personal vehicle, Page envied those who enjoyed the comforts of their own cars while he waited for the bus amid sleet, slush, and black ice. Rather than merely lamenting his situation, he let his imagination explore an alternative world, where efficient transportation manifested in two-person mobility pods that could be instantly summoned. In a separate anecdote, an author shares a poignant experience that led to a profound shift in thinking. As a former General Motors executive, he felt the impact of the 9/11 attacks not only as a tragedy but also as a wake-up call. The United States' reliance on Middle Eastern oil, he realized, made the auto industry partially responsible for the chain of events leading to that disastrous day. With this newfound clarity, the author made it his mission to challenge the continued use of gas-powered engines and instead champion sustainable change. These two narratives remind us how adversity can inspire us to think differently about the world around us. It often takes crucial moments of discomfort or despair to propel us towards innovative solutions that have the potential to reshape society for the better. Robotic Desert Race Breakthrough. The U.S. military sought an innovative approach to reduce casualties caused by improvised explosive devices during the invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq by exploring automated vehicles for transportation. DARPA, a government agency, offered a $1 million prize to American teams who could create automated vehicles that could successfully traverse a 150-mile race through the Mojave Desert. Carnegie Mellon University's Red Team emerged as a strong contender with their creation, Sandstorm. Despite their initial failings, DARPA doubled the prize money and ignited a progression in automated vehicle technology. As the United States waged wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, catastrophic losses occurred when improvised explosive devices, IEDs, targeted soldiers' transportation routes. To minimize casualties, the U.S. military considered using automated vehicles for logistical purposes. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, sparked this robotic revolution by offering a $1 million prize to any American team capable of developing a self-driving vehicle that could complete a challenging desert race. The competition took place in the unforgiving Mojave Desert, spanning an arduous 150 miles between Barstow, California, and Primm, Nevada. The Red Team, hailing from Pittsburgh's Carnegie Mellon University, emerged as a top contender. Led by renowned roboticist Red Whitaker and comprising a diverse team that included PhD candidate Chris Urmson and local tech enthusiasts, they developed an automated Humvee named Sandstorm. After relentless testing and numerous setbacks, the team was ready for the race on March 13, 2004. Although the event was riddled with complications, it ended anticlimactically when Sandstorm traveled just 7.3 miles before getting stranded on the side of the road. Despite this initial disappointment, innovation was not hindered. DARPA's director, Tony Tether, announced a second race with an even higher prize of $2 million. This apparent setback catalyzed the evolution of automated vehicles, as the competitors pushed their limits and advanced the capabilities of vehicular robotics. The determination manifested during these early struggles would lay the foundation for future technological breakthroughs in self-driving vehicles. Pioneering robotics innovations. German computer scientist Sebastian Thrun, known for his work on the innovative robot museum guide, Minerva, significantly contributed to the future of automated vehicles through terrain mapping and software expertise. His work led to the development of Stanley, the successful robot in the second DARPA race. Meanwhile, Red Whitaker's team introduced the shake and shimmy method, increasing safety in automated driving by allowing robots to reassess unclear situations. These advances in robotics were driven by the challenging competition of the races, and key players such as Thrun would go on to contribute further in the field of automation. Sebastian Thrun, a German computer scientist, made essential advancements in robotics as part of the team behind Stanford University's competition entry. Previously, Thrun had designed an innovative museum guide robot called Minerva for the Smithsonian Museum that used laser rangefinders and a machine learning algorithm to carefully map its surroundings and avoid collisions. This same technology was then utilized in creating the Stanford team's robot, Stanley, which triumphed in the second DARPA race held in 2005 along the California-Nevada state line. Thrun's focus on terrain mapping and software expertise would become a pivotal component in the development of automated vehicles. In addition to Thrun's work, Red Whitaker's team introduced a crucial innovation known as the shake and shimmy method. This technique enabled their robot to pause, reverse, and crawl forward when faced with uncertain terrain or obstacles, allowing it to reassess the situation before proceeding. This approach greatly increased the safety aspect of future automated driving technology. The incredible progress made in robotic technology, including Thrun's Minerva and the shake and shimmy method, was fueled by the intense competition and pressure of the races, which forced participants to adapt and learn from their mistakes. Innovators like Thrun and Chris Urmson would later play significant roles in the future of automation, particularly through their work on Google's Chauffeur project. Detroit versus Silicon Valley. Henry Ford revolutionized automobile production and helped shape modern America, turning Detroit into an industrial hub centered around car manufacturing. For years, engineers focused on the hardware of automobiles and dismissed emerging ideas about automated vehicles. These ideas took root in Silicon Valley, where technology pioneers embraced software innovations. Despite their rivalry, the evolution from traditional cars to automation wouldn't be possible without the legacy of Detroit and its eventual alliance with Silicon Valley's software-centric approach. Born out of Henry Ford's innovations in the early 20th century, the automotive industry thrived in Detroit, fueling America's growing love for personal car ownership. This city buzzed with a gritty, industrial energy, mastering the hardware of automobiles, their nuts and bolts, pistons, and chassis. Skeptical of emerging concepts like automated vehicles and computers, Detroit's automotive manufacturers initially dismissed these ideas. However, in the technological haven of Silicon Valley, a different mindset was taking shape. In contrast to Detroit's grease-stained overalls, Silicon Valley's computer scientists, like Stanford's Sebastian Thrun and Google's Larry Page, were more suited to air-conditioned labs, exploring new solutions to tackle our dependence on fossil fuels. Silicon Valley's key strength was its specialization in software, which eventually became the foundation of automated vehicles from companies like Google and Tesla. Detroit's Fiat Chrysler acknowledged this shift in a 2011 TV commercial featuring a narrator saying, "Cars that park themselves. An unmanned car driven by a search engine company, it ends with robots harvesting our bodies for energy." Despite their rivalry, the journey to automation cannot be simplified into a binary battle. Without Detroit's contribution, personal mobility would not have been woven so deeply into the American psyche. By the mid-2000s, these worlds of hardware and software converged, as Detroit's General Motors advanced the development of alternative propulsion vehicles and ignited the automation revolution. A glimpse into automotive evolution. In 2005, the author, then GM's corporate president of research, witnessed a turning point in the automotive industry. He observed three disassembled vehicles, a Chevy Malibu, a Toyota Prius, and E-Flex architecture, a concept electric vehicle. The latter had significantly fewer parts, highlighting that future cars would be far simpler and cheaper to build. This shift would completely disrupt the auto parts supply chain, necessitating major adaptation by manufacturers. Furthermore, mechanics would have to evolve as software developers became increasingly important in a world of electronic, rather than mechanically focused, vehicles. At a time when GM delved into research and development of alternative propulsion vehicles, the author had a revelation about the future of the automotive industry. Byron McCormick, a technician working on GM's E-Flex architecture project, invited the author to visit the Vehicle Assessment Center, a colossal warehouse where GM engineers examined the inner workings of various vehicles. The assessment center revealed three disassembled cars arranged in bays, a traditional Chevy Malibu, a modern Toyota Prius, and the E-Flex architecture prototype. Notably, the gas-powered vehicles comprised numerous components, requiring extensive parts and labor. In contrast, the E-Flex had a sleek, minimalist design with far fewer components. This observation led the author to foresee monumental transitions in the automotive industry. Multitudes of suppliers, such as Denso, Delphi, and Visteon, provide parts for conventional vehicles, from spark plugs to fan belts. However, the evolution towards electric cars would demand that these suppliers adapt or face extinction. The manufacturing process for electric vehicles would require fewer workers but more specialized skill sets, making the cars cheaper to produce. Additionally, the author recognized that this shift would affect mechanics, as the industry would require software coders to manage electronic functions rather than relying on traditional parts-based maintenance. When the author presented these insights to GM CEO Rick Wagoner, Wagoner acknowledged that these innovations would end the era of the integrated automotive industry as they knew it. Farewell private cars. In the near future, private car ownership will become obsolete, making way for a world where autonomous vehicles are the norm. The transformation will greatly impact individuals, businesses, and society as a whole, bringing both positive changes and challenges. Imagine a future where traffic jams are a distant memory, transportation systems are revolutionized, and the costs of long-haul delivery decrease significantly. While this shift opens up opportunities for small businesses, it may also bring worries for those involved in traditional driving and manufacturing industries. Picture yourself watching the movie La La Land. The opening scene depicts a common, frustrating reality for many: standstill traffic on a freeway. However, soon enough, such scenarios will be relics of the past. The driving force behind this change? The demise of private car ownership. Currently, cars are not only essential for life in the suburbs and countryside, but also symbolize social status. However, the future holds a different model of transportation. Instead of owning cars, people will summon autonomous vehicles via apps similar to Uber. These self-driving vehicles will usually seat 2 passengers, as most journeys are taken alone or with a companion. After being transported to the desired destination, passengers will bid farewell to the vehicle, unlikely to ever see it again. This transformation will have a profound impact on businesses. Expenses related to long-haul delivery and trucking will drop by around 50%, fueling e-commerce growth like never before. Small businesses, once constrained by transit costs and limited markets, will be able to reach broader audiences. Nevertheless, there will be challenges. Drivers and traditional auto manufacturers may experience anxiety and uncertainty about their livelihoods. Finding ways to transition these industries and workers towards a future of self-driving taxis will be crucial. As we project this futuristic landscape, questions about our mindsets, societal structures, and landscapes arise. Can we truly grasp and adapt to the implications of a world without private cars? Science fiction may offer glimpses, but the truth will be revealed as the revolution unfolds. The future family commute. Imagine a morning with the Wilkersons in 2031, where eating breakfast is accompanied by virtual reality games and holographic newspapers. Their daily commute to work and school starts with a convenient car-sharing service, and they ride in a hydrogen fuel cell-powered vehicle, free from the responsibility of driving. This allows the family to bond and engage in various activities during their hour-long journey. The world outside the car windows is a dazzling display of perfect harmony among vehicles, thanks to complex algorithms keeping them at a safe distance. Car crashes have become a thing of the past, and streets prioritize pedestrians, with green sidewalks and bustling plazas where parking lots once stood. The family separates for the day, knowing they'll regroup later, as their vehicle moves on to its next assignment in this futuristic world.
As we conclude this enlightening summary of autonomy, it becomes palpably evident how the world of driverless cars is primed to revolutionize our daily lives and the global economy. The fading of private car ownership, drastic reduction in traffic congestion, and a significant decrease in overall transportation costs will herald in a new era of mobility and urban development. While the transition may seem challenging, particularly for traditional automakers and the millions employed in driver-centric roles, it offers a rare opportunity to reimagine the way we live, work, and connect with each other. The future holds the promise of a cleaner, safer, and more efficient world, one that would be utterly unrecognizable to the denizens of the pre-automated era.